however, this is less a critique of the arguments in Part 1 than it implies a more nuanced version of them. I do not have as many reservations about any of the later chapters, and they are left to stand for themselves, except for my concern to emphasize again the importance and centrality of Chapter 6, the deconstruction of dualism. Although this chapter serves a key role in the larger argument, it may be listened to by itself without reference to any of the other chapters. Some readers have noticed problems with a few translated passages, which are more ambiguous than I have credited them for. In a book full of so many different quotations from so many different traditions and languages, this difficulty is not easily avoided, but my own linguistic skills, or lack thereof, have not helped, since they have made me largely dependent upon others' judgment. Nevertheless, I am not aware that this seriously impinges on any of the arguments offered. In cases where a particular translation is central, especially in Chapter 3, which considers at some length the first chapter of the Tao Te Ching, my versions have of course been discussed with scholars more specialized in those fields. Those familiar with Lack and Transcendence, the Problem of Death and Life in Psychotherapy, Existentialism, and Buddhism, recently published by Wisdom Publications, may wonder about the relationship between that book and this one. The two are distinct, of course, in that neither requires any acquaintance with the other. There is nonetheless a connection, for the central theme of lack and transcendence, the sense of self's sense of lack, is prefigured in Chapter 4 of this book, where the issue is raised why our minds seek a secure home. In that sense, the second book may be said to have grown out of the first, and the two supplement each other. I continue to hope that what follows will encourage other scholars to improve upon it, and that it will also encourage a new generation of readers to work on overcoming their own sense of subject-object duality. Those who find this book helpful may also appreciate its two sequels, Lack and Transcendence, a second edition was recently published by Wisdom Publications, and A Buddhist History of the West, still available from the State University of New York Press. Introduction. In our self-seeing there, the self is seen as belonging to that order, or rather we are merged into that self in us which has the quality of that order. It is a knowing of the self restored to its purity. No doubt we should not speak of seeing, but we cannot help talking in dualities, seen and seer, instead of, boldly, the achievement of unity. In this seeing, we neither hold an object nor trace distinction. There is no two. The man is changed, no longer himself nor self-belonging. He is merged with the Supreme, sunken into it, one with it. Center coincides with center, for on this higher plane things that touch at all are one. Only in separation is there duality. By our holding away, the Supreme is set outside. This is why the division baffles telling. We cannot detach the Supreme to state it. If we have seen something thus detached, we have failed of the Supreme, which is to be known only as one with ourselves. Sixth Ennead, Ninth Tractate, Section 10. In case we miss the main point, Plotinus repeats it a sentence later. There were not two. Beholder was one with beheld. It was not a vision compassed, but a unity apprehended. The non-duality of seer and seen. There is no philosophical or religious assertion more striking or more counterintuitive, and yet claims that there is such an experience, and that this experience is more veridical than our usual dualistic experience, are not rare in the Western tradition. Similar statements have been made in equally stirring language by such important Western mystical figures as Meister Eckhart, Jacob Boehme, and William Blake, to name only a few. Philosophers have generally been more hesitant about committing themselves so decisively, but a claim regarding the non-duality of subject and object is explicit or implicit within such thinkers as Spinoza, Schelling, Hegel, Schopenhauer.